1965 was a year of soft-lit jukebox corners, vinyl crackle, and soul voices that felt like confessions whispered in the dark. The radio was shifting, Motown was rising, and Stax was burning hot. Yet, some gems slipped through time's fingers. So, tonight, we're dusting them off. 15 R&B treasures from 1965 you may have forgotten, but your heart remembers. Number 15, It's Gonna Take a Miracle by the Royalettes.
Take a miracle. Yes, it's gonna take a miracle.
This one floated into the world in 1965 on the MGM label, carried by the silky, aching voice of Sheila Ross. The Royalettes were a Baltimore girl group who never quite got the commercial push of the Supremes or the Shirelles. But this track, it's pure cathedral-ceiling romance. The arrangement swells like a full orchestra trying to hold back tears, lush strings, soft timpani, and harmonies that feel like they're holding you up from inside. Behind the scenes, this song was produced by Teddy Randazzo, who crafted it like a love letter set to music. Delicate, but powerful. It didn't break the charts wide open at the time, overshadowed by Motown's superstar machine rolling out hit after hit. But those who heard it knew. You can almost imagine a rainy night, streetlights glowing gold on wet pavement, someone quietly realizing they're still in love. Over time, the song found its way back, covered famously later by Laura Nyro and Denise Williams. But nothing touches the original's soft-spoken longing. It's the sound of hope hanging on by a thread, but still believing. If that one brought back a memory you didn't expect, wait until the next track. We're just getting started. Number 14, I'll Always Love You by the Spinners, Before.
I'll always love you, baby.
The Spinners became the lush, chart-topping soul architects of the 1970s. They were still finding their footing in 1965. This early Motown cut didn't get the spotlight that would later shine on songs like Could It Be I'm Falling in Love?
Nothing that I can say, darling,
But you can already hear the heart, the warm, earnest harmonies, the gentle sway of Detroit's signature groove. Recorded when they were still known as the Detroit Spinners, the group brought a sincerity that stood out in an era full of polished hits. This track didn't crack big national charts, partly because Motown at the time was releasing hit after hit from the Supremes, the Temptations, and Marvin Gaye. But listen closely. You'll hear the seeds of what would become their unmistakable sound. Tender, conversational soul that feels like someone looking you right in the eye. If the last track was about aching hope, this one is pure devotion, steady, patient, eternal. Number 13, Let's Do It Over by Joe Simon.
let's do it over. Do you
This one slipped through the cracks of time, but once you hear it again, you remember exactly why Joe Simon became one of soul's most quietly devastating storytellers.
full of your precious love?
Released in 1965 on the VJ label, Let's Do It Over sits right at the crossroads of gospel-rooted pleading and deep Southern R&B. Simon was still early in his career here, long before hits like The Choking Kind or Drowning in the Sea of Love would make him a recognizable voice across the country.
That I had happiness and the
There's a certain tenderness in this recording, like someone sitting at the edge of a bed late at night, rehearsing the words they wish they'd said. The rhythm is slow, unhurried, like heartbreak simmering instead of boiling. And Joe Simon's voice, rich, hushed, and wrapped in warmth, carries the weight of regret without ever tipping into despair.
We'll try it again, darling.
It's a conversation, a plea, a confession. This song never had a major chart moment, partly because VJ Records was struggling financially and couldn't push it the way it deserved. But those who had the single kept it close. You can almost picture an old record player in a dim apartment, needle lowered carefully, lights low, somebody trying to figure out how to love again.
I'm willing to try one more time, baby.
If that track touched the quiet spot in your chest, the next one turns up the tempo just a bit, but keeps the soul just as heavy. Number 12, I'll Be Satisfied by Jackie Wilson.
And I'll be satisfied. Oh, true love.
Now here's a track that feels like summer air moving through an open kitchen window. Bright, kinetic, and full of heartbeat.
Hold my hand, baby, just once in a while. That's all I need.
I'll Be Satisfied actually came earlier in Jackie Wilson's career, but the 1965 reissue brought it roaring back just as soul music was maturing into something bigger, fuller, and more emotional.
Just a smile. Hold my hand, baby, just once in a while.
By 65, Jackie was already a titan of stage presence, sharp suits, impossibly smooth footwork, and a voice that could switch from velvet to fire in a single line.
I won't forget you when you're around me. It makes me feel.
This track wasn't one of his chart toppers, which is why it gets forgotten in the shadow of Higher and Higher or Lonely Teardrops. But listen closely. The horns are bold, the tempo dances without rushing, and Jackie sings like joy is something urgent, something you have to live in right now.
Oh, satisfied, that's all I need. That's all I need.
It's pure celebration wrapped in rhythm. This is the sound of love before the heartbreak, before the second guessing, just wide open happiness. Ready for something smoother, something late night and Smokey. Number 11, When You're Young and in Love by Ruby and the Romantics.
When you're young and in love.
This is the sound of innocence wrapped in satin. Released in 1965 on Cap Records, Ruby and the Romantics were already known for their hit Our Day Will Come, but this track often gets tucked away in the attic of memory.
Spring's in the air.
And that's a shame, because it captures something so specific. The breathless, glowing feeling of first love, when every little moment feels like the whole world shifting. Ruby Nash's voice floats, light, steady, unforced, and the group's harmonies cradle her like soft arms around the shoulders.
Seems to shine twice as bright when
There's a dreamy orchestral arrangement here, all gentle strings and brushed drums, like something out of a prom slow dance scene blurred by soft focus and starlight-shaped Christmas lights. The song didn't get the chart muscle it deserved, partly because the R&B scene was transitioning toward grittier grooves and driving back beats.
if you believe they do.
But emotionally, this track holds on to the shimmer of youth, the part of you that believed love could stay exactly as perfect as the first time it showed up. If the last track was Sunrise, this one is Twilight. Sweet, slow, and full of quiet promise.
And in love. Young and in love. So many.
And now, let's step a little deeper into the shadows, because number 10 carries a different kind of longing. Number 10, That's How Strong My Love Is by Otis Redding.
That's how strong my love is, baby. That's how.
Recorded on the Stax label, this is Otis Redding at his most tender, before the full storm of fame, before the horn sections grew bigger, before he became the voice of Southern soul.
Well, I'll be the moon when the sun goes down.
Originally written and released by O.V. Wright, Otis reshaped it in 1965 into something raw and aching, something that feels like love spoken directly from the chest.
That's how strong love is, baby.
The production is stripped down, quiet guitar chords hanging like open air, slow drums brushing forward like someone walking carefully across a wooden floor, trying not to break the moment. And then Otis arrives. His voice, not polished, not perfect, but true. He sings like loving someone is a promise you make with your whole life. Every line sounds like a vow whispered in the dark.
Wrap you in my colors and keep you warm.
This wasn't his biggest chart hit, overshadowed by more raucous singles that followed. But over time, it has become one of his most enduring love testaments. Couples slow dance to it in living rooms, jukeboxes, and dim bars where time seemed to slow.
I'll be the ocean, so deep and wide, and gets all.
If the last few tracks have been memories flickering like old film, this one is a hand held tightly and not let go. When you're ready to move deeper into the heart of 1965's forgotten gems. Number 9, I've Been Loving You Too Long to Stop Now.
I've been loving you.
By Otis Redding. Otis again. Because 1965 was the year he shifted from a rising regional voice to a man shaping the language of soul itself.
Oh, too long.
Released on the Volt label, this track is the slow burn, the whispered confession. The moment someone realizes love has become not just desire, but need. Where That's How Strong My Love Is was devotion, this is surrender. The story behind it is just as heavy. Co-written with Jerry Butler, the song didn't begin as a grand studio moment.
With you, man.
It started quiet. Words and melody pieced together slowly, with Otis shaping the emotion phrase by phrase. In the studio at Stack, the session musicians played with almost hushed reverence, letting silence become part of the music. Every note is stretched, pulled, held, like a heart refusing to let go. And Otis, he doesn't sing this, he pleads. His voice cracks in all the right places, trembling, not from weakness, but from truth.
And your love is growing cold.
You can picture a record player needle tracing that groove late at night while someone sits motionless, replaying memories they're not ready to release. This song charted respectably, but its real life came in bedrooms, in breakups, in reconciliations, in quiet moments where someone said, "Wait, please."
Oh no. I've been loving you.
If that one held you still for a moment, brace yourself, because number 8 brings a different kind of warmth, something sweeter, something closer to home. Number 8, Everything's Gonna Be Alright by the Artistics. Here's a Chicago soul gem that doesn't get nearly the love it deserves. Released in 1965 on the OK label, the Artistics were right in the middle of the city's vibrant harmony group scene. Think the Impressions, the Radiance, the Chi-Lights in their early form.
It's gonna be alright, baby,
But while others broke through nationally, the Artistics sat just outside the big spotlight, delivering smooth, steady, heart-forward records like this one. Everything's Gonna Be Alright is pure reassurance set to music. It's the kind of track that feels like someone sitting beside you on the porch steps, not saying much, just letting you know you're not alone.
be alright. It's gonna be alright, baby.
The lead vocal is calm, but full of quiet conviction, while the harmonies rise like warm breath in cool night air. The arrangement isn't flashy. Guitar, bass, drums, a touch of horns. But it feels like sunlight breaking through blinds on a slow Sunday morning.
Storybook affair. Just wait and see. It's gonna be alright.
It charted modestly, overshadowed by more explosive Motown hits of the year. But for those who knew, this song was medicine. A reminder that even in heartbreak, even in confusion, there is something steady to hold on to. And speaking of holding on,
Gonna be alright.
if these forgotten soul gems are bringing back memories, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It helps keep these classics alive and lets more soul lovers find their way here. And trust me, we've still got 7 more tracks that will hit you right in the heart. Number 7, Nothing But Heartaches by the Supremes. By 1960, the Supremes were everywhere. The charts, TV shows, magazine covers. Yet, this track, released on Motown's powerhouse label, didn't quite soar the way Stop. In the Name of Love, or Back in My Arms Again did. And that's exactly why it gets forgotten. But listen closely. This is one of their most emotionally revealing performances. The song came during a stretch when the group was wrestling with intense pressure to keep delivering #1 hits. Berry Gordy was pushing an assembly line standard of perfection, and behind those glamorous smiles and matching gowns, the grind was real. Diana Ross's vocal here carries that weight, a kind of shimmering heartbreak wrapped in grace. The instrumentation is pure Motown machine. Tambourines sparkling like starlight, driving bass, and those unmistakable background harmonies from Mary and Florence, lifting the ache into something elegant. It's heartbreak dressed in silk, pain you can dance through. And if this one felt like longing behind the spotlight, the next song brings us back down to the Smokey basement clubs where soul was born. Number 6, In the Midnight Hour by Wilson Pickett.
My love comes tumbling down. I'm gonna wait.
Now this one may not be forgotten in name, but the feel of it, the moment it arrived in 1965, often gets lost in the haze of time. Released by Atlantic and recorded at Stax in Memphis, this track is where Wilson Pickett stopped being a promising voice and became a force of nature. You can hear the shift, the grit, the fire, the attitude, but behind that swagger is a story.
All the things I told you at the midnight hour.
When Pickett walked into Stax to record, the room was tense. Southern session players, northern gospel-raised singer, different rhythms, different instincts. Then Steve Cropper struck that sharp, snapping guitar groove, the horns punched in like spotlight flares, and Wilson dug into that now iconic, I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. The studio caught fire.
In your eyes, I'm gonna wait till.
This wasn't just a song, it was a blueprint. It shaped how soul would move, how it would hit, how it would breathe on the dance floor. It hit the R&B charts hard and became a soundtrack to Saturday nights across the country. Warehouse parties, basement gatherings, jukebox corners glowing neon red. This was sweat, joy, danger, and desire wrapped in 3 minutes of pure urgency. And if this track lit the match, trust me, the flame only burns hotter from here. If you're feeling this countdown, take one quick moment and subscribe to keep this soul train rolling. We've still got 5 more tracks, and the top 3 are something special. Number 5, Take Me in Your Arms, Rock Me a Little While by Kim Weston.
I do love you.
Released on Motown's Gordy label in 1965, this track is one of the purest examples of Detroit soul power. Kim Weston had a voice that could lift you off your feet, warm, commanding, and full of emotional charge. But timing and label attention often placed her in the shadow of peers like Martha Reeves and Diana Ross. Yet here, she stands completely on her own. The song came from the same legendary Motown writing team, Holland Dozier Holland. But instead of the polished sweetness they often crafted for the Supremes, this one is bold.
Yes, I do, girl.
The horns are bright and brassy. The rhythm hits like a heartbeat learning to race again. And Kim sings with a mix of longing and strength. It's not begging, it's not pleading. It's someone saying, hold me, yes, but know that I'm worth holding. It charted modestly in '65, but became a cult favorite among soul collectors, dancers, and deep-cut radio DJs. Later covers, including the Isley Brothers and Jermaine Jackson, brought it back to the mainstream, but Kim's version remains the one with fire in its core. If this track felt like a heart calling out, the next one feels like memory itself. Number 4, I Do Love You, by Billy Stewart. This is the kind of song that feels like it's leaning close, speaking softly just for you. Released in 1965 on Chess Records, I Do Love You showed the world that Billy Stewart wasn't just a powerful vocalist. He was a stylized one. His signature stutters, rolls, and vocal flips weren't gimmicks. They were expressions of emotion too big to stay smooth. He didn't sing feelings, he burst with them.
Oh, darling, rockin' for just a little while.
In a Chicago studio, Stewart laid this track down with a gentleness that contrasted beautifully with the booming brass and swagger of many records of the time. The groove is slow and swaying, almost like it's breathing. When that organ glides in, it feels like a dim light turning on in a quiet room.
I'll never hear your knock on my door.
And Billy, he doesn't just say I love you. He lives it in every word, every catch of breath. This song became a favorite for low-lit slow dances, late-night AM radio shows, and couples who were just trying to say something simple and true. It didn't need to explode on the charts. It settled into hearts where it stayed. If that one felt like a whispered confession, the next one feels like a memory spinning under a spotlight. Number 3, Ooh Baby, You're the One, by The Miracles. Released in 1965 on Motown's Tamla label, this track sits in that beautiful, tender space where Smokey Robinson does what only Smokey could do.
My heart went out to play.
Turn longing into poetry. The Miracles were already shaping the sound of romantic soul, but this one didn't explode the way some of their hits did. Instead, it lingered. On radios late at night, on dance floors where hands were held shyly, in bedrooms where lights were low and hearts beat softly.
I know I made a few, but
The arrangement is classic mid-60s Motown. Gentle guitar lines, brushed drums, and harmonies that feel like warm evening air drifting through open windows. Smokey sings with that feather-soft phrasing, like he's not trying to convince you, just letting his love exist. No urgency, no rush, just devotion steady as breath.
but I can't stop trying.
The song didn't chart high partly because 1965 was stacked with blockbuster releases. Big voices, bold horns, dramatic crescendos. But this song is subtle. It's the look across a crowded room, the slow smile, the love that feels like it was always there.
I'm crying.
For those who remember it, this isn't just music. It's a moment in time, a memory of being young enough to believe love could last forever. And if that brought back a gentle ache, number 2 hits deeper. In the Place Where Heartbreak Lives. Number 2, Tracks of My Tears by The Miracles Yes. We stay with Smokey, because if number 3 was Soft Devotion, this one is the quiet heartbreak beneath the smile. Released in 1965 on the Tamla label, Tracks of My Tears wasn't just another record. It was a revelation in emotional songwriting. Smokey Robinson, along with Pete Moore and Marv Tarplin, crafted lyrics so delicate, so painfully honest, that the song became something like a mirror held up to the soul. The opening guitar line, that was Tarplin, a single trembling signature that feels like memory itself calling your name. And Smokey's voice, it doesn't break. It bends. It carries the sadness not with drama, but with grace. Like someone who's gotten good at pretending they're okay, but can't quite hide the truth anymore. This song didn't just chart. It became a slow dance anthem, a breakup soundtrack, a reflection moment for anyone who ever wore a brave face over a hurting heart. It's been covered countless times, referenced in movies and television, sung by new generations, but the original remains unmatched. Not because of production, not because of fame, but because of emotion. Real, lived, quietly devastating emotion. And now, we arrive at number 1, the one that didn't just slip through time. It hid in the corners of memory, waiting for a night like this to come back home. Number 1, I'm So Proud by The Impressions. Released on ABC Paramount and written by the incomparable Curtis Mayfield, this 1965 masterpiece is one of those songs that doesn't just play, it glows. It floats in softly, like a warm breeze through a summer window. And for many, it lived quietly in the background of life. First loves, prom slow dances, long car rides with the radio tuned low. But time has a way of tucking memories away, and this one deserves to be brought right back into the light. Curtis sings with a tenderness that almost feels fragile, not because his voice is weak, but because the emotion is so real. The harmonies from The Impressions are feather light, rising like a choir made of breath and memory. Nothing here is rushed. Nothing is pushed. It's the sound of love without performance. Just truth, simple and glowing.
What the people might say, you must.
The song wasn't the biggest chart smash of its year, overshadowed by louder trends and faster rhythms. But its impact runs deep. It became a quiet anthem of Black pride, romantic sincerity, and emotional honesty. Themes Curtis would carry into the future, shaping generations of soul and R&B to come. This isn't just a track you remember with your ears. It's one you remember with your heart. From Chicago, harmony to Memphis grit. From Motown elegance to slow-burning Southern soul, 1965 was a year where music didn't just play, it felt. These were songs that lived in dance halls, on porches, in bedrooms, and deep in the quiet corners of memory. Thanks for taking this stroll through time with us. If this countdown stirred something in you, the nostalgia, the warmth, the soul, go ahead and subscribe so you never miss the next ride. And don't go just yet. Up next, 15 underrated 1950s. 1050s R&B hits you forgot were awesome. Click that video on the screen and let's keep the groove alive.